A streamer is never late. You know that. He arrives precisely when he is meant to. Oh, I forgot to get the other thing going. How's it going, everybody? What's good in the hood? Turn off the audio. There we go. We did it. This is Dead Dodge Garage Live. I'm echoing? Am I echoing? No, it was just here. I shouldn't be echoing. Everything should be fine. I had to go in and change the sound settings again. Quadcast, yes. Everything should be normal. Okay, I think the echo is in your ears, McLovin. 69 Cornet 500's here and still recovering from seeing the pics of the wrecked Cornet. That's sad. Very sad. Oh, it was playing on Discord. Oh, it plays on Discord? I see. You hit the button through Discord. That makes sense. We got it. We're good. We figured it out. Paul Wortman liked, subscribed, and participated. Thanks, Paul. What a pal. Josh stopped by to hit the like and say hi. Have a great time. Granddad's Junk's in the house. Just been watching the Barracuda video. Nice. John Chapman said good video on the garbage can CUDA today. Thank you. Stage zero. Jason is here. New car, new profile pic. Nice. That is a 73 Charger with 71 Charger grills. That allegedly was at Tony's house until... Tony's house. Sorry, I read hi, Tony. Rooster's house until very recently. Gary Hergert says, I don't know if Tom's here yet. Drink every time Tom says cool. No, there's something else. It's his catchphrase. I want to put it on a shirt. Is it that's just so cool? Oh, damn it. He said it a lot of times in the video. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. It's like me saying I think it's neat. But anyway. Yeah. Yes. The 273 looks so good under the hood of the garbage can. Sorry, I think I was a little hot. Little spicy. It's so weird because I turned off all the automatic volume control things, but it still changes every week. I don't know why. Anyway, yeah, 273 looking fantastic. Still need to fix the rocker issue, but we'll get there. And then there's a ton of other stuff. Rad. Didn't see your email till just now, Hot Shoe. I don't know how to do that. I don't think I can. I need to figure that out. Oh yeah. Nice. All right. Should I spoil these guys with this or what? That's pretty sick. That's cool. That looks great. It fits perfectly. Yeah, I like it. I personally would have done the teardrop one, but that looks really good. I would do the teardrop because, you know, the little old school. That's what you always get with the little model emblems. You know what I'm talking about. Robert Barella in the house. How's it going? Dwayne Paget. And remember, hug your charger. It loves you too. Jeff Militich is here. Hunter Freeman, is it really you or just the PNW weather? The weather is so nice right now. Hunter Freeman, oh, why do I ruin things? Yeah. It's like, it's the rain. But thing is, I should have put it inside, I guess. But I have no room to do that. So, Old Iron made it within the first hour of the stream. Welcome. Drink every time Tom misspeaks. So, yeah. Tom refuses to put in the kind of time editing that I put in. And so, yeah. Well, and I give him that note often, and he just says, it's not worth the time for me. And I understand that, like, but it's worth the time for me. If I didn't edit as much as I do, like, oh, God. Anyway, tonight's libation, Cider Boys First Press. It's a good one. Kind of just tastes like an apple. All right. Yeah, I'll just show this anyway. Hot Shoe apparently makes really cool leather products. And he did a test. DDG scrap pack key dangly thingy. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, I guess we need to have a chat about that. The problem... Yeah, well, let's talk about distribution at a later date. Dodge Raider. God, I hate these things. I'm kidding. They're really cool. But I had a bad experience with the owner of one. Interesting little doohickeys. Anyway, we hope Tom gets the Gremlin and the Yugo. I just want the 56 Imperial. Bell James, are the Chinese air gap dual bolt pattern manifolds from eBay any good for LA318? Excuse me. They're surprisingly decent intakes. The problem you will have is small ports, and that intake is going to have a bigger port. Yeah, Pete Bazikos, I think. Radiusing the rear wheel well opening of the garbage can Cuda was like addition through subtraction. I know. They should have done that from the factory. David Bisnet is here. Great videos this week. Thank you. Guy Kugler says the garbage can Cuda reminds me of Richard Petty's 43 Junior. So he didn't cut the quarters on his. I actually went and looked at that and a bunch of others for reference recently. It's surprising how many don't have the quarters cut. Did not. Some did, but not many. Most of them, they just lifted the back end and centered the tire in the wheel well, which I could have done. You know, I said that, but the wheels I had put them out there, and I liked it, and I wanted the radius cut, and I'm glad I did it because it looks so good. Cave Dave's in the house. How's it going? Gregory Littleton also here. I don't know who was here first. McLovin. Yeah, Sunday night. Comes sooner and sooner every week. Dennis Wheeler, Dan Arcott, Connor A. Cavasu, Rich Jordan, Kevin Brunk, mostly Mopar, Robert Fitch. The gang. All here. Mopar Sasquatch in the house. Everybody say thank you to Alan for keeping me on the Barracuda for a whole week and, like, making it happen. He drove to Olympia to get the heads for it. He did basically all the brake and suspension stuff except for a little help from me. What else? He cut the quarter panels. Bled all the brakes. Lots of things. Oh, my sister's here. Hello, sister. Stephen H. Bunkybird is in the house. It says, how's your Sunday, Jamie? Relaxing. I did go out to the shop for a little bit and just stare at the Barracuda and the Imperial, but other than that, really just kind of hanging out. Had nieces here and yeah. Mostly relaxing. David Hiller's in the house for a bit. Looking forward to nut and bolting my duster with you in September. Are we doing that? Neat. I'm going to be gone for a good bit of September. Paul Wortman, with the additional holes in the floor, how's the floor going to hold up? We're going to patch it. Mark M's in the house. How's it going? Oh, wow. Great Barracuda video today. Just watched it. Barracuda won hardware at a 3-day car show this weekend. Nice. Very nice. It's a great car. It deserves the hardware. Did it get points for a really nice original appearing engine? Johnny Grassa is having an orange crush. Nice. Jeff Hutchins asked Tony twice, didn't get an answer. What do you think would happen if you ran evaporust as coolant for a monitored and appropriate amount of time to remove rust from system? I don't know. I don't. How does evaporust like being heated to 200 plus degrees? What is the boiling point? How does it function under pressure in a closed system? I don't think actual evaporust is what you want. Now, someone said in another comment further down that evaporust actually makes a radiator, a cooling system flush. I don't think you should get, 2 to 5 gallons of evaporust and use it as coolant. That is so expensive and probably not something you want to do. Al Sear just loves 340s, and 383s are screamers also. Those are my 2 favorite engines, although 273 is kind of up there as well. Did I say hi to All Classics? I don't think I did. How's it going? All Classics Restoration in the house. He actually messaged me yesterday to say, hey, if you need a WCFB, I have one. So that's good. Recognize this. Yes. That's sick. Aaron Scott's in the house. Grace Harbor gang. Man, it's been hot. Trying to enjoy it. Before raining for the next 10 months. Yep, exactly. Can't complain too loud, but I am sweating. Gopher Garage. Got to do 3/6 Pentastar things today. Why use plastic? Because it's cheap and light and effective. Did I say hi to Dr. Art? I don't know if I did, but he's here. Yeah, Gary says I need to get some Rocket Resto merch in the store. I'm fully planning to do that. The Bondo tacos. So good. Jonathan Pickle, what led you to list your charger, meaning the 69 charger? Was the condition worse than initially thought? Yes, it was. I thought from the pictures that it kind of sort of had a trunk. It did not. The trunk was powder. And one of the frame rails was bad. So I couldn't just put a 440 in it and do awesome stuff. So then, okay, great. Well, I knew it was rusty, but again, it was worse than I thought. And there wasn't enough car there to do what I wanted to do with a 440 or then later a 426 Hemi. Like, it would have been even worse. So I couldn't do it. I had to do all the metal work, and that is where that ended. Now, as we've proven with the Barracuda, if Alan and I just knuckle down on a project for a couple weeks, we can make magic happen. But, excuse me, I didn't have a couple weeks to spend on that car. And also, I kind of wanted to buy a Hellcat. And so I decided, screw it. I'll list the Charger. And, if it sells, then I'll have my down payment. And if it doesn't, well, fine. Wasn't going to trade it. But then when I was offered Perky, I traded it. Nice. Northwest Drag Racer. Old Mopar head here. First was a 59 Gold Crown Imperial. Nice. Tom with Rocket Restorations did a video today where he showed a 59 Imperial and a 60 Imperial. Anyway, maybe I'll see you at Bremerton Raceway one of these days. Maybe you will. I was really hoping to be there on Friday, but my car was still in pieces. But yeah, that's the spot. I have not been there at all this year, and I don't think I will be, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't like... To this point, I haven't gotten involved in any actual drag racing events because I don't wanna. I just go to test and tunes because I'm racing myself and testing and learning things. But anyway, Hunter Freeman. So curious if you can run 12 volts and just step down for the 6-volt gauges so you don't burn out the gauges. Yes, that is exactly what I will do. My mother is here also. Hello. How's it going? Chili Willy in the house. Guy wants to know, hey, Jamie, what do you think about first-gen Dodge Dakotas? I'm not a Dakota guy at all. At least starting in, is it 92 when you can fit V8s in them? That's cool. I've driven one that was rowdy, very. But they're just not my thing. I've had 2 second-gen Dakotas, 2-wheel drive ones, that also were rowdy and fun to drive and had good power, but at the end of the day, I'm just not into that. My idea of a truck is a working truck, and a little teeny tiny Dakota, well, it's not going to haul anything I need hauled. So I just kind of don't believe in them. But, I get the appeal for sure. They're light, they're small, nimble, affordable. So, yeah. Apparently insect repellent like off removes Sharpie instantly. Well, that's good to know. Many people thanking Alan. Alan is, in fact, the man. Keith Hill said, awesome race car. Thank you. Petty drag racing? Yes, the 43 Junior. Briefly. That car got crashed into a crowd and wrecked. And it has been restored, or there's a clone restored, or they had 2 and the second one's restored. I don't remember. Something like that. I saw a comment a bit ago. Someone said, oh yeah, Johnny Grossa, my 65 Cuda got sideswiped this weekend. Jerk tried to do a U-turn in front of me. Dude, that's brutal. At least you survived. Unlike those poor people that got U-turned into by that semi. And I just saw, where did it go? Oh, the Charger is listed? No, the 69, the crappy 69. I have said many times that I would sell the 68 because I'm trying to buy a house and I really need money to do that. I'm slowly accumulating money in other ways by trying to put money in savings, which I've never been good at, and selling other projects and things. But it's currently nowhere near enough for a down payment on this house. So I still may have to sell the Charger. I don't want to. I like that car a lot. I just got it running happy again. I've driven it around a few times and enjoyed it and just put tires on it. It's an awesome car. I did... there was someone on the stupid Northwest Muscle Cars group looking for something to buy and drive home from Washington. And so just for fun, I commented on that post with a picture of my Charger and a price. And a bunch of people that I know have seen it. No, not a bunch, a few. And I know that because they hit the like button. McLovin just sent me pictures of a 43 Junior. I'm assuming he took these. And it's interesting. It's got no front bumper, just like I'm doing on mine. Pretty neat. It doesn't say Junior on it, though. It just says 43. Also, yeah, if you think I didn't notice that the number 43 mysteriously found its way onto your car in mysteriously the same font. Look at that. If you haven't seen it, McLovin did finally get the Llama Barn out to an autocross event, and he dropped a video on it. So check it out. It's so good. It's just magnificent out there. Look at this shot. So good. So good. I got a shot of the Barracuda kind of from a very similar angle. This is one of my favorite things. Where'd it go? Can't find it. Oh my God. Oh, here it is. Yeah. I just sit and stare at this. It's so good. Oh, also note Perky and Pinky in the background. Apparently that's what I need to call the Imperial. We'll call it that right up until I paint it black. Anyway, Answer 14's in the house and says, good evening, Jamie and Mopar fam. Garbage Can is going to be epically cool. Thank you. I think so. Can't believe a guy just entered your shop and started hacking your beloved classic Plymouth Barracuda. Nice. Jeremy Clayton's in the house and says, first time here, but I watch the show all the time. Love the show. Thank you. Much appreciated. Glad you could join us. Yeah, exactly. Nice. Yes, exactly. I would, yeah. Hot shoe on the evaporest thing. It might kill seals. See, it's acid, is it not? Dead. Tony is live too. I bet you already been told. I was over there for a bit. Yes, Tony and my live streams. Tony's been live streaming for like 5 years on Sundays. 4 years. And so for some reason, when I decided to first try live streaming, I thought Sunday seems like a good day for that. Mine is staggered from his by an hour. So when I go live, he's been on. He and Kathy have been streaming for an hour, and then they leave somewhere around the hour 15 mark, usually, of my live, and then a bunch of people come over here. So, yeah. And we've also been on each other's lives periodically. Yeah, David, that's good thinking. And people should do that to me, too. John Hibbert in the house. How's it going? Hi, Jamie, my Mopar guru. Nice. Samuel Seal. Where would be a good place to get a hub for 67C body? Wildcat Auto Wrecking? Yes. Put the all aluminum oil cooler in the Pentastar. But other than that, they're really good engines. Well, and the lifters, rocker, followers, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, dang it. I saw this come in, but I did not put it up on the thing. So thank you again to Bill. Bill, always with the giant super chats. What a man. Want to see the Barracuda and the banana on the track. Well, the Barracuda you're going to see in the near future. Yeah. Mike the Slacker made it. How's it going? Nice. AC died in Gary's daily driver, so he's been driving the Charger 500 with R12 that'll chill your nuts. Yeah. Yes, the 69 Charger 500 has the flush rear window. I have a little Hot Wheels of that. In fact, several, but I can't reach them from here. I just got a Discord message. On your way back, swing by here and tune the... Swing over here for timing and tuning on the D100. Nice. Old Iron says the first gen Dakota is the greatest vehicle ever made, and I don't want to disagree, but it's just, like I say, I've got my reasons. John Hibbard went to look at a 68 Plymouth Barracuda 4-door, thinking Adam 12 replica. Cool. Yes, true. But it can also haul 9,000 pounds. Towing, that is. Tow 9,000 or something. What can a first-gen Dakota tow? I bet it's a lot less. I got to be able to tow a loaded car trailer or my stupid boat. So, yeah, that's why I'm not a Dakota guy. Johnny Grasso says the damage to the Barracuda isn't bad. Luckily, that's good news. Yeah, All Classic says yes. They had 243 Juniors. I've seen the wrecked one in person in a junkyard in eastern North Carolina. Can't still be there at this point. I swear I've read about someone rescuing that and doing something with it. Hank Kimball. Hey, is that a Silvertone amp behind you? Yes, that is a Silvertone Twin 12 1484. And that is actually a matching cab, but it's got the wrong grill cloth. That's like ox blood or something. The bases are attacking. They're taking over. McLovin put up a link to my merch store. Thank you very much, McLovin. Tony's holding his phone with me on it. Hold on. Hi, Tony. Hold on. Now it's going to get really weird because I'm going to go hold him up, holding me up. Oh. He's not holding me up, but look, I'm right. Yep. I'm right there. Hi, Tony. It's too much. It's hard to get much more meta than that. Yeah, Steven Rosenthal. You're 2/5 of the way to all the bass sounds. Just need a Stingray, Jazz, and a T-Bird. I had a T-Bird, but I got rid of it when I got the Rick because it was like the Rick, but not as good. I did really like it, though. That transformed my bass playing and tone. Stingray, yeah, and I do like a Jazz, but I don't know if I have room for that in the fleet. Latouche dropped in to say, would love to stay in chat, but it's 2:30 a.m. Have a great stream. Thanks for dropping in. Much appreciated. Paul Wortman, what guitar is close? It's still the Jazzmaster. I'm going to get pickups for that, but... Oh, okay. It is still there. Interesting. Okay. Yes, Alan has 100 miles on the Neon RT. We found the noise. Rear left bearing now fixed. Hunter Freeman, I just flushed with Blue Devil. Not sure if it neutralizes rust. It does burn on the skin, though. Nice. Oh, Scoop. Put my pickup. Dang it. Hold on. Hang on. Hold on. Hang on. There you go. Scoop. Scoop is here. Scooping. Don't drop your snack. Good times. Believe in yourself. Shared the link to the live on X. Thank you. Chili Willie says garbage can is looking proper race car. Oh yeah, buddy. Donnie's actually commenting tonight and says Mopar at its finest with Perky and Pinky. Yeah. Guy wants to know, what's your favorite bass line in a song? Loving the Rick in the back. Good taste in cars and basses. Thank you. That's my 4001. I got that from my friend Vivian, and it's awesome. What's my favorite bass line? That's tough. That's really tough. Conway Cavasu, Tattletales in the freeze plugs of your $1,000 heads is just tacky. I agree, but you point them to the back and no one ever knows. They only put one on each head, so you can put them to the back. I was going to say Roundabout, Donnie. How dare you? Yeah, Roundabout is probably it, but I also really like... I like King Crimson a lot. Big influence. Easy Money is when I just think bass line, it's Easy Money. Excuse me. Paint it black. Yeah, exactly. Alan is to Jamie as Jamie is to Tom. No, I'm not as useful to Tom. I'm not that helpful. Uncle Tony's rebroadcasting. We got to get him with the copyright strike. Yes, that is the Wheeler Dealer one. It says that on it. Yes. My sister's taking a nap. Old Iron on the Discord singing the first gen Dakota's Graces. Praises, whatever. Best toe pigs known to man. Well, particularly the ones optioned with the legendary torque monster, the 2.5 liter K-car engine or the Jeep engine. They use both. Either way. What a machine. I won't be doing that. Those rear quarters aren't surviving. Ooh, too expensive. Oh, weird. Stacy's here and says, tried talking to the guy with that silver truck I sent you a pic of. He was an asshat. Yeah. Ramble On is a great bass line. There are so many out there. Like, don't make me use the Schwartz. Don't make me pick. And we'll all be back for Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money. If they don't call it that, I'm going to be so mad. Jeff Hutchins figured I was a Swiftie. Kerosene Cucumbers in the house. How's it going? What's good in the hood? Rooster's here also. How's it going? Fleetwood's here. Hey, Fleetwood. Whoops. I don't know how I did that, but I liked it. 192 of you. Thanks for being here. Much appreciated. One of them might still be Tony. Should we check? Yes, Mel Brooks is still alive. He's working on Spaceballs 2 right now. I'm still on Tony's Live. What? Copyright strike incoming. Yes, 99 years old. I thought he was like 97 or something. But yeah, he's an older gentleman. I'm just gonna hang out in the comments on Tony's Live. Hilarious. Oh, dude. Hang on. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. I gotta see if this works. I don't know. Oh, you can't quite see it. Dang it. I have a TV on a swivel mount. My brother left it. It's too far over that way. But it would be hilarious to put Tony's Live on that. Big brain time. Hi, Tony.
I don't know.
The delay. The delay is terrible. It's all very weird. All right, I'm not listening to myself. What a weird thing. Whipping Post is a good one too. Incredible. Portal to the fourth dimension. We're all gonna explode. Where were we? Mel Brooks is indeed 99 years old, and his birthday is the day after mine. Wow. That's awesome. Yes, careful, you're messing with infinity. Stacy says History of the World Part 2 was the opposite of good. That's unfortunate because... Oh, who worked on that with him? I don't remember. Someone funny, but I've never watched it. So, you know. Technology is amazing. Jeffrey Voth watched Blazing Saddles for the 114th time last night. Nice. Nice. I remember my grandpa introduced my little brother to that movie when he was quite small. That's a good one. Yeah, The Search for More Money. That's, yeah, if they don't call it that. Oh, James Robinson says, pray for me. My mortgage company has screwed up my escrow bad. Dude, our mortgage on our last house, I'm not centered anymore. Nobody move. Rooster dropped his brain. My mortgage company had to redo my escrow like 3 times within the first year because they were really bad at math. But it was never a huge amount. Yeah. David offered some alternate history, but he typed alternator history, which is really enjoyable. My sister has a headache. She says, behave or you're going to the corn. The Schwartz. Hot Shoe says, oh, lady down the street recently died, had a 68 Dart GTS with a 3-3 auto, all original. She was the original owner. I tried to buy it, but it went to a family member. Wow. Yeah, Mike ends here from Tony's. He's watching your stream. I know. We were watching his stream, watching my stream. Yes, right. Yeah, my mother says Blazing Saddles, basically the family favorite movie. Yeah. The Camptown Ladies. Grasshopper Cruz is here and says, hey, that racer is surely coming together. Focus! I'll do my best. Thank you. Kerosene Cucumbers. Have you seen the film Used Cars? Parts of it. Clips from it. And I had a band called The Used Cars at one time. Unrelated. Yeah, the Schwartz has been mentioned several times. Yes. Andrew Button. Do you think buying a tin grill from northern Minnesota is a good idea? I suppose is what he's asking. I could assume it would be pretty solid overall. It was used for snow removal for national parks. Then it sat for 30 years under pine trees. Nice. Princess Bride's a good one too. Yeah. Sleep well, Wesley. Probably kill you in the morning. Anybody want a peanut? Napoleon Dynamite was not on our list. Why does this keep resetting to As You Wish? It was between As You Wish or Probably Kill You in the Morning. I had to pick one. As You Wish. All right, Johnny Gross is headed out to paint the house. Good luck. Yeah. Oh, the Wheeler dealer's car that McLovin sent me a picture of. He saw it at the NHRA Museum in Pomona in 2023. Set up out front. Very cool. Oh yeah. Al Sears says eyes always open for a pop-top Ram Charger. Yes. McLovin put up a link to his video on autocrossing the Llama Barn Valiant, which I sold him, and I highly recommend you go over and check that out. But, not right now. I'm not going to call that car Impy. I can't do it. Can I do it? So many comments. Yes, that. I was going to do something, but I don't remember what it was. Excuse me. Okay, don't play in the house. How's it going? Donnie says, my daytime is gone, but we have a diplomat. He messaged me and said diplomat, but did he send me a picture? I don't know. Rich Corinthian leather. I love what they've done with my car. Donald. Oh. Ooh. Wow. Okay, so this is an old picture of the race car that Donnie got. It is an Dodge Diplomat, apparently. Says it doesn't have that grill. Oh, it doesn't look that good anymore. Got it. That's funny. You were going to race the Daytona at No Name Nationals, but now you're not, which is unfortunate because I'm going there. Camera. It'll come back eventually. Paul Wortman stepped out for a minute. What did I miss? Did you see Tony and I holding each other's live streams up? Bill Mize's first diesel truck was a new 06 Dodge quad cab diesel. I had an 03. It was very much not new, but it was a good truck. My latest is my 19 Nissan Titan Crew Cab Diesel. Love my Dodge, but my Nissan rides so much better. I know I'm a traitor. Yeah. You know, I had a series of Cummins trucks from 2015 or 16 until 3 months ago, when I stepped down to a half-ton Hemi truck, and I love that truck. It's still not the most comfortable riding thing in the universe. The seats are great, but it's a little stiff. It's lifted and whatever. But anyway, I love it. I don't miss daily driving a Cummins. Donnie, with that being said, what is the highest gear ratio you can run in 8 3/4? 256? 250 something. 2.7 is a relatively common one. I think there's a 2. Well, in 8 3/4 though, I don't know. Might be 2.7. Oh, cool. There's a video of them finding that wrecked 43 Junior in the wrecking yard on the Mopar Connection Magazine YouTube channel. Nice. Mark Bass says, how about a PT Cruiser convertible converted into a 2-door pickup? I like where your head's at. I wish they'd made a 2-door hardtop PT, because that's what I'd be putting on my truck chassis. Believe in yourself. Shared the live on LinkedIn. Thanks. I don't know what that does, but thank you. So much happening. Too many comments. Grasshopper Cruise asked, do drag cars need an exterior kill switch like the dirt track cars do? They do if they have a trunk battery, and mine is going to, so I will be putting a kill switch on the back. Imde is in the house and says, great seeing your Imperial this weekend. Wiring is also on my to-do list, as 12-volt Imperial wiring is apparently quite tasty for mice. All wiring is. The cloth stuff is just tasty for the atmosphere. It just disintegrates. Yeah. Don't cross the streams. There you go. Nice. MD also said, named my Imperial Carol after my grandfather since it was his car. Graham would call him by his middle name, both as an endearment and an invective. Ugh. Seems appropriate. Tim Jefferson calls his Dart Joe Dart. Nice. Yeah, Rooster's 8 3/4 and his Furious 294. Yeah, the Charger's a 294 car. Rich Jordan says, my 741 center in the Challenger is 276. I know 276 is available. I know 25s were available later in the 8 1/4s, but I don't know in 8 3/4. So yeah, might be 27s all you can get. Andrew Button says M-body is better than F-body. Well, that's just like your opinion, man. I got to put a light on the Rapid Transit poster. It just doesn't pop enough. See, I got one in the closet there, so the mess, that is well lit for sure. But yeah, we need a spot over here. Jeff Hutchins says my Chrysler looks like a Walter. Jonathan Pickle, do you think attempting to modify a 318 or 383 to make stock 440 power is more effort than a 440 swap? More effort? I don't know. I mean, 400 horsepower is doable with either of those engines. Effort? Whatever is your pleasure. I don't know. It's putting a 383 in there is exactly the same amount of work as a 440, so not that one. Those are like the same job. Making 400 horses out of a 318 can be done, has been done, but which one's more work? I don't know. Hot Shoes' brother named his 64 Barracuda 273 4-speed car. Damn it. Nice. Plymouth on Plywood has one more week on the road. Then he'll be back in Idaho working on the little wagon. Nice. That one that I sold him. Andrew Button says I should put Perky's battery in the trunk for better weight transfer. I think you're probably right. Jay Hunto's Garage in the house. How's it going? He said, nice video today, Jamie. I love the progress and share your inability to focus on just one project. Squirrel! Yep. This is the way, pal. This is the way. Tim Jefferson is late. How's it going? Keith Hill's best car was a 70 383 4-speed Barracuda Grand Coupe. Joe Mannix Green Metallic. Nice. Yeah. Fox Can Fix It has arrived. Chat-wise, not in the success or the metaphorical sense. Rad. Cat. Paul Wortman says, listen to the second or third album from Yes. Which one is that? I've listened to... Well, I guess I haven't really... Yes songs. Apparently. Fragile. Oh, no, that's early. Oh, my goodness. This doesn't make sense. How they released 2 albums in 71? Are they different? Yeah, Yes, the album. No, that's 69. Then the Yes album in 71. Then also Fragile in 71. Okay. So I guess the third one would be the Yes album. Yeah, this has things I like on it. All Good People, Your Move. Yeah, it's a great one. That might be the only one I've listened to off this album 1,000 times. 1,000 times. Yeah, I've listened to the other one, Fragile, a good few times. Fragile is 2. The Wikipedia says it's 3. Close to the Edge is 3. Yeah. Okay. What do I look like? Some kind of expert? Is that a live album or something? Apparently. What happened? Oh, that was dumb. I did the wrong thing. Whatever. I give up on everything. Nice. A Roadrunner looks nothing like a taxi. Yeah, but the interior is literally cheapo taxi cab interior. It's a folding bench, but still. Split bench. Oh, Riff Raff. Oh, that was in response to Riff Raff Ruckus. Let's be honest, the Chargers and Challengers are the only good-looking Mopar muscle cars. The rest of them look like taxi cabs. No, that's a really stupid thing to say, actually. Yeah. Hunter Freeman, weight difference 440 versus 318. If you use aluminum heads and an aluminum intake, it's not very much. Just Mopar Joe has an excellent video on the subject. Ooh, I like that song a lot. Yeah, One Thing Leads to Another. It's a fantastic one. Is that black and white? Oh, is that black and white bass PV? No, that is my P-Bass Special. My grandma bought me that in 2006, I think. It had red strings at the time. The old neck's long gone. It was a fretless for a long time. I just put that one on it. Yeah. And then my black and white Rick is there. Fragile is 3. Okay. Connor Lake Havasu. Did you have to change the center link on Dylan's Dart Sport to accommodate the V8? No. So here's the deal on that. And I've discussed this in a couple videos, but so early A bodies, there is one K-frame and 2 center links. For some reason, the V8 ones, they used a deeper center link to make room for oil pan. Late A bodies, or second generation, the other ones, 67 to 76, there are 2 K-frames. There's a slant 6 K-frame and a V8 K-frame instead of just one like early A's had. But there is one center link. They all have the deep center link, and so they all clear V8s no problem. I don't know why, but no, you don't have to do anything with the steering on 67 and up cars. That is a first generation early. I keep saying first generation. Technically, the Barracuda is like the second generation, right? It's a restyled one. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. Early A to me is anything before 67. Those have the steering problem. Keith Hill says, Brother Kurt built a dual quad 273 in his plum crazy A100 back in the 70s. That's sick. Uh-huh. Don't hide the Aerodyne. It's slightly hidden. There. There are too many bases. Yeah, why make 2 drag links when one will do? Exactly. Why did they keep going with both of them in the early years? He actually plays it here, which doesn't make sense to me. Nope, that ain't it. That's my favorite bass line, probably. It's between those. There are a lot of good ones. In the year 2525. I hate that song. Old Iron. You guys just wait till I 3.9 V6 swap a 69 Charger I acquired through questionable methods. Go ahead. Proud of you. Excuse me. Oh, I guess Bill is headed out. Must be. I didn't see his comment, but I saw Roosters. Take it easy, Bill. See you later. Marcus Huerta is here and says, Spaceballs was the first movie I saw in a theater. Nice! Vivian says, you already have your dream car. What's your dream guitar amp? I've had my dream guitar amp for a really long time. Silvertone Twin 12. I've had a lot of different things I really liked. There's not... I don't dream of guitar amps. I have the ones I want to make the tones I crave. But I did recently get, I think I showed this, I don't know. Whatever. There's an Ampeg V4 over here. Thanks to our mutual friend Drew. And I do like that. Ooh, I need another Sun Beta lead. I loved my Sun Beta lead. I should have kept that. Fantastic amp. Patrick Radcliffe sent me $5 and says, here's $5 for Alan and his expert cuts on the wheel wells. Those cuts came out amazing. It sure looks good, doesn't it? As we pointed out in the video, you know, the cuts that was one take. Whoop, we haven't done any cleanup. Pretty darn good for just going at it with a jigsaw. Awesome. Hunter Freeman, I want to do a Dakota engine and trans swap into like an early Dart or Valiant. My bro's Dakota was pretty quick and reliable, got great gas mileage. Which Dakota engine? Magnums have been done countless times. V6s, mounts are annoying. 4 cylinders. Good luck. Andrew Button being silly as usual. I always thought that was here. Wait, it is. It's not. I don't know where it is. 4-7 is a big no. Absolutely. 100%. Those suck. Eric Jorgensen says, please don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Jamie's time is expensive. Thank you, Eric. Vivian says, I had a housemate with one of those silver tones. I'd play it and crank the reverb while turning the volume down. One of the craziest guitar tones I've ever gotten. The reverb in those is so silly. I don't know if that one even works anymore. It's more of like it's kind of a reverb, I guess, but it's more of like, I think of it as like a ringer. Like, what's that? Isn't that pedal called the green ringer or whatever, where it's like kind of a weird high frequency phasing thing? That's kind of that reverb. AMC guy, are there any smallish fender flares that might clean up the quarter cuts? Sure, but I'm not going to put fender flares on the car. It's not getting chunks of plastic goobered on it. There are two things I have in mind. One of them is someday getting a second set of 66 Dart fenders and cutting the wheel openings out of those and grafting them onto the quarters. That would be pretty cool. But probably what's going to happen is just some of that door edge stuff. Bloop. Done. Yeah. Old Iron says, get some of those stupid tacky black plastic flares all third-gen Dodge owners have for your Barracuda. No. Ain't doing that. Plymouth on Plywood. What do you think was the lightest A body? Early A two-door sedan. So like a 63 Valiant two-door sedan. I don't think a 60 to 62 cars are also light. I wonder which one's lighter. I don't really know. Yes, Jeffrey, both. Early Dakotas could be had with the 2.2 in rear-wheel drive configuration. Yes, they could. Did they get 2.5s, or did they just get 2.2s, and then the 2.5 they got was the Jeep engine? Because I know they got the Jeep engine at some point. Oh, cool. Paul Wortman says, Dweezil Zappa just did a thing on YouTube about his father's guitars he plays on stage. Way cool. I went to see Dweezil with my former girlfriend. In Portland, Oregon in 2010. It was a great show. 4.7s are great in a Toyota, yeah. Oh no! One of Chili Willie's tuning pegs snapped off his Washburn bass. That is inconvenient. Dolphin Don in the house. How's it going? We're just hanging out and talking about stuff. Donovan is fantastic. Obviously, thanks to my mother. I've been a Donovan fan for a long time. Oh, yeah, I was going to say that. Dan Tupper talking about, the AX-15s, those have been transplanted into various classic Mopars. This bass is a beauty. It's a looker. And, I've always hated active pickups, but I plugged this into my DI box, and it actually sounds better than just about everything else I've got. I can't say I've found the same to be true in an amp. The tone was good, but in the DI box, this thing's real good. Now, the RIC 4001 turns out to be the greatest DI box tone on the planet. And in an amp, I use only the bridge pickup on all the RICs, but plugged in directly. Both. Works really, really well. Jeff Hutchins, get one trailer fender, cut it across the top, weld it into the rear fenders with whatever stick out you want. I don't need anything to cover the tires. This thing's never going on the road. It's a drag racer. Who remembers Strawberry Alarm Clock? My old roommate and bandmate, Kyle, I believe, was a Strawberry Alarm Clock fan. Oliver Brown, what's your take on power cords? Useful tool? And the power slide? I ain't know what that be. Keith Hale reposted Junior's AR CUDA engine. Ooh, that's sick. Excuse me. On the Discord. Ooh. That's cool. Wow. Yep. That's a 6-barrel. Nice. Good details here. Painted bypass hose, correct clamps, factory filter. Painted the dipstick handle, though. I'm pretty sure just the stick is supposed to be painted. I could be wrong, I guess. That looks sweet. Right on. Incense, peppermints. Yeah, that's the band. Incense, peppermints, color of time. Or something like that. Who cares what games we choose? Whatever. La, la, la. Yeah. Timothy Ortel saw Dweezil with Zappa Play Zappa. Yep, that's what I saw in 2010. Marty from St. Augustine is here. How's it going, Marty? Andrew Button, do you think B-Vans will ever have the cult following Chargers and E-Bodies have currently? Not in America, they won't. In Japan, maybe. Sans amp is pretty good. I generally like amplifiers and microphones. I just was trying not to make noise. Got it. Paul Wortman's going to see Jason Bonham in October. Nice. I'm a big Bonham fan, obviously. Right, yeah. Too bad all the Bondo, you could just oxyacetylene, patch up the edges, and grind smooth. Yes, right. But there's 3/8-inch thick Bondo, so yeah. Driver Misfit said, that wheel didn't look like Bondo, it looked like drywall. That wheel, well, didn't look like... Did I read that right? I don't even know. Raymond Cabell, how close is your oil filter mount to body? Wondering it looked close. It's not close. It's where it should be. Do you think Jim Morrison ever drove his van to Van Morrison's gym? Yeah, and then he drove it to the Morrison Hotel. Yes! This is a P-Base special, Aerodyne, and it has a pick guard, which most of them don't. Most of them are black, usually. The red was pretty rare, I guess. But yeah. Mikey314, do you ever pull motor without transmission asking for 85 W250? Yeah, we did in the 79 W200. But yes, I've seen Morrison's Mustang. Stick... If it's a stick, it really, really sucks in those trucks trying to get the engine and transmission lined up again. It's really tough. Been there, done that. I'm not a Moby Grape fan. I'm just not familiar. Yes, Dodgy Ban. I didn't say it. I should have said it. Mikey314 is loving all the content. Thank you. Appreciate that. Gopher Garage wants to know, any room for future mods for the 273? I don't know where that room would be. Yeah, I don't know. Didn't leave a lot on the table. Bigger valves, but then to fit those, we'd have to clearance the bores, and I don't want to do that. Cut the decks, raise the compression. I don't want to do that either. More aggressive cam could be an option, but I have a feeling we're kind of already on the bleeding edge there. Steven asked, did the missing 4 solid lifters show up? No, not yet. Yeah. Mark Sauvé is in the house. How's it going? Mexican Spec is here. Scoop is here again. Barry Kuda's here. That AMC guy. I'm going to take a random stab and guess that Tony has hopped off for the evening. Thanks for hopping in here, everybody. I'm not familiar with Chocolate Watch Band, but that does sound like a Strawberry Alarm Clock tribute act. Is that the line? I thought it was little to win, but nothing to lose. Tony Stanley. I want to add a stereo or electric air conditioning to my 66 Charger. Would a Chevy one-wire alternator be the easiest and quickest way to update the charging system? No. Get one of those tough stuff one-wire alternators. It is a Mopar alternator. It goes directly in place of the original alternator. It looks like the original alternator. It has high output. It is self-regulated. Delete the amp gauge circuit, bypass the amp gauge, run a heavy charge wire from your new alternator straight to either battery positive or the big stud on your starter relay through like a 120-ish amp main fuse. And then add whatever you want. One wires you would think they would just fit there, but they don't. Dean Stevenson's in the house and says, @Zero sent me here. Uncle Tony did not give me a note, but @Zero said the No Punks in K-Town YouTube music mix is legal tender here. Good to know. Larry Barker's here. How's it going, Larry? Bunch of people hopping in. Welcome. Like, subscribe, and participate. What were we talking about? You can do it. You can do it, Vivian. I have faith in you. The pizza oven. Got to do that. Raymond Cabell, Jamie, are you running 8th or quarter mile? 8th mile. The local track is 8th mile. The other kind of sort of local track is 8 mile. The other somewhat nearby track is 8th mile. Everything's gone to 8th mile. And that's fine because I don't need to go any faster than about 80 miles an hour in that Barracuda. In fact, even that'll probably be pushing it. Jimmy Page played guitar on whose tracks? He played on all kinds of things. Legendary session musician. Oh, Oliver Brown said, you produce the best Mopar goodness. Thank you. I certainly try. Yeah. Just session playing for Donovan. And apparently John Paul Jones also played on some of his tracks and did arrangements. Lately, I heard he's claiming John Bonham was also in some of them. Interesting. CQB Warfighter is here and says, big GM guy, but love Mopars too. You and Tony have given me a new, deeper appreciation for Mopars and the engineering behind them. Slowly been watching all your videos. Love it. Thank you. Much appreciated. Certainly happy to help where I can. You know I'm not reading that, but yeah. Gopher Garage. Plans for roll bar or cage. I think I'm good to 750. Andrew Button hates the 8th mile. Here's why that is silly. You already know everything you need to know about a drag race by the 8th mile. The rest of it is just semantics. You can directly correlate an eighth mile time to a quarter-mile time. You are safer in the eighth mile. I don't know that I would have liked to run the Demon a full quarter. Four-wheel drum brakes, remember? And that car is 3,200 pounds. I get it. I understand. Drag racing was always quarter, and now it's not. But there are good reasons why it's not, and I have no problem with it. I see no reason to be upset about it. Everything you need to know happens in the 60-foot and the eighth mile. That's all I can say. Yes, quarter-mile tracks are indeed disappearing. This is the future. Eighth is the only thing I've ever done. It's the only thing I've ever known, and I don't mind it. Jesus. Neighbor lady. Patrick Radcliffe, how far in the future is floor, pan, and trans tunnel patching for the garbage can CUDA? Well, a week or maybe 2, because that's kind of all we got. Yeah. Old Iron only runs quarter-mile drag racing with his Dakota, which hauls itself on his gooseneck trailer to the drag strip because it's the greatest car ever made. I think Old Iron wants to fight. Vintage Adventure Drive says, my satellite didn't want to stop very well at 100 miles an hour at the end of the quarter, weighing 3,450 with driver and sporting drum brakes front and rear. The Demon will stop at the end of the 8th mile from about 80 miles an hour. Fine. Once. When you immediately hot lap it, it's worse. And I could only imagine much faster, right? So, yeah. Now, the Barracuda has the same exact brakes, but it's also going to be 800 pounds lighter, so there's way less to stop. So, yeah. Josh Homan says, good to have you join in. Yeah. Andrea Alvarez in the house. How's it going? Vivian's friend dated John Paul Jones's daughter in the 80s. Wow. He was just super down to earth. Have you seen footage of him with them Crooked Vultures? That was a great super group. He just always seems like a guy. Hot Shoe has been in the sand trap once. See, I don't want to go there. I'm good with the 8th mile thing. Andrew Button, if you have a car like a Diplomat, it needs the quarter mile. Timmy Ortel, 95% of quarter mile races were won in the 8th. I don't know if it's 95%, but yeah. Plymouth on Plywood just bought a bead roller since he doesn't buy cards with floors. I gave my buddy Mike the bead roller, but he will bead roll things for me if I ask him nicely. The hammer. Sorry, before I read this, a bit ago someone said it looked like you got a 6.4 Hemi truck. It's a 5.7. It's a 1500 5.7 Hemi. 395 horsepower. It's ridiculous. The one thing I will tell you is I could tell right away that the chassis is not anywhere near as beefy as, say, my old 3/4 ton 3rd gen. I can load too much tongue weight on this truck, and I see the flex. And the 3rd gen, I towed 15,000 pounds with that truck once. It was slow, but it didn't, it did it. Thank God for Woodwood brakes. Yeah, see, I'm not going to run 1050s in the quarter. I wonder how many beers I could drink in the quarter mile. I'm a slow walker, says End of Time. Is the danger the reason we race? No. Yeah. Okay. The hammer. I don't really know how to phrase this question. I'm not very knowledgeable with Mopars or engines in general. That's okay. What is the newest Hemi block you could convert to carburation easily? The ones they're making now. 3rd gen Hemis, there are plenty out there carbureted. Now, here's the thing. It's a silly thing to do. People do it. Yeah. You cannot have a distributor on a third gen Hemi, so you have to still retain sensors and get a special box to run the ignition. And they're out there, I mean, MSD. That was a weird noise. And Lord knows who else have those available. But yeah, you can get a carb intake for a Hemi that was made in 2025. I just wouldn't, is all. Yeah, cars that do the duct tape drag, some of them are sketch at best, doing quarter miles in the eights. Insane. I wanted to go to duct tape. I didn't buy a ticket because I didn't know if the car was going to be together. And now they're sold out. So Seabody Garage. Hey, Jamie, please help me understand the differences between harmonic balancers. Changed timing chain this past weekend. Stuck with my original 60-year-old unit. Too many to choose from. There's nothing wrong with your original unit unless the rubber in it is fried. In our climate, in this part of the world, I have never seen a balancer where the outside section moved. I've never removed one from a car from the Northwest. I have seen a couple from other places that are cooked. Northwest cars, the rubber in the balancer, I've yet to see one actually bad. Cracked badly, disintegrating, outer hub piece moving. Never. So in my experience, old harmonic balancers are fine and there's no reason to replace them. But your mileage may vary on that. And I don't know what engine this is. I don't know what your... Yeah, I know it can happen. Mark Save says I've had one spin on me. Again, I know it can happen. I know it happens. I've checked for it countless times. But I've never seen one yet. On a classic Chrysler product. I've seen one on a Hyundai. But that's this whole other thing. But anyway, if there's nothing wrong with yours, don't replace it. There's no reason to. If there is something wrong with yours, try and find a stock replacement. Excuse me. Answer 14 said, to be honest, 8th mile racing, excuse me again, is a lot more like stoplight racing back in the glory days. Dateline, Telegraph Road, Detroit, summer of 71. Light to light was legit, much closer to 8th mile. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Hunter Freeman says, what? Duct tape drag is sold out? I'm not done with my comment yet. Last I looked, I'll check again, but yeah, because I had it. I was like at the order screen for tickets, and they still had them when I first looked, and David posted, almost sold out. We're going to run out. And yes, they are sold out. Full event, 2-day participant entry, sold out. Car show, you can go to the car show. You can go to the burnout competition. You can spectate. But, yeah, the actual racer tickets are sold out, which is unfortunate. I wanted to go. Oh, well. Martin Adams says, my 0259 balancer not looking good, spent most of its life in Arizona. See, that's something different. That's not where I'm at. And so, again, that's why I qualified that statement as much as I did. Because it's not something I see, but I know it happens. Mouth organ? Awkward silence? Mouth organ or awkward silence? Awkward pause. Damn it. Yeah, Mark Save has had an issue where I'd set the time and make a pass, check it, and it was off by degrees. Set it again, make a pass, still off 2 degrees. Distributor shaft had broken. Yeah, they can spin in there, and it will change the timing. Oh, the distributor shaft itself, that's cool, but or maybe you do mean the oil pump drive. Whatever. Yeah, the gear can spin. Jeff R. missed the last hour or so. How's the new kitchen going? Had any time on it? No, that's just a storage room now. Roger that garage. Have you been working on the original 340 for Dale's Demon? I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to it too. I am not working on it yet. No, I have other priorities. The Demon is together, running, driving, enjoyable as it is. I will get that back together. I will get it back to stock at some point, but currently I need to get my Barracuda together. I need to get Perky fixed. I'd like to get stuff going on the Banana. So yeah, I'm not doing that yet. It will happen. It absolutely will happen. Wow, Gopher Garage said, Dad and I built a 68 Dart 440 727 Dana 60. Ran a best time of 983 in the 80s. Sure wish I had it back. Wow. Plymouth on Plywood ducked out, but we'll be back in Pacific time next weekend. Later, Gators. Take it easy. The Hammer, for a relatively affordable backyard hot rod build, HP per dollar, what year and displacement of LA would you recommend? 360s have the inches, and it's easy to port a set of junk heads, get a cam. It's so easy to make power with an LA 360. It doesn't matter what year, really. There are better heads, kind of, but Dale's Demon is a Smog era 360 with Smog heads, and the port's plugged, and small valves. And that car almost does wheelies, not quite, but almost. So I would get a 360, and it really doesn't matter what year. It really doesn't. The 308 heads are kind of good, except they also restricted the intake port because of the oversized push rod clearance. That came in 85, 6, whatever, somewhere in there. I would just get yourself a Smog era LA 360. Set of performance pistons, good rods if you're nasty. Port the factory heads, springs to match your cam of reasonable and or ridiculous size, whatever is your pleasure. Good intake, headers. You're going to have a good time with that. So, yeah. Yeah, I did not watch Becoming Led Zeppelin. It was the actual distributor shaft. Oh, wow. I was playing with the mechanical advance on the rotor, then it went farther. I see. JMR is in the house and says, hello, Jamie. Love the White Dart series. Well, it's a Barracuda, technically. Andrew Button, what do you think Perky would run in the 8th mile? 12 miles an hour. Steven Rosenthal says, Banana will need a 4-panel drag chute silk screened like a peel. I love it. Old Iron, can't wait to see more on that blue 69 Roadrunner. He sent me a picture, and I was embarrassed for him, but I forgot. He had told me the story of it. It's very interesting. Yeah. Andrew Button, yeah, 340, you sneeze at it, and it makes tons of power. Yes, but if we're talking about cost per power, per pony, 340 ain't it, because to get any 340, you're going to spend $1,500 for a core. 360s are, well, they're not free anymore, but they're still quite affordable. So, yeah. Answer 14. Hey, Jamie, 318 mild build. I run a Mopar Performance Electronic Distributor and Orange Box Ignition. Is there a system upgrade in that area that would make a noticeable difference? No. No, there really isn't. You should be just fine with what you got. Yeah, Perky's time in the 8th mile eventually. 1 to 3 business days. Mark Sauvé's issue was on a small block Chevy. Well, that makes sense. It really, I can't ruin Perky. That's the whole thing. Like, the only thing that makes that car what it is that Perkins engine. But it sure would be cool with the DeSoto Hemi in it, and I sure do have one. I've actually never seen Young Frankenstein. Jeff R., you giggled a lot driving Dale and Start Sport. Was that an expensive engine build in your eyes? That engine costs $4,500. It shows up in a box. It seemed really expensive to me at the time when we ordered it. That was 2 years ago. It doesn't seem so expensive to me anymore because 426 Hemi, and also my 273, I've got nearly $4,000 in that. And but first the domed pistons, $700, and then the machine shop trip added up, and then the heads, and then all the other parts. So for a few dollars more, could have had a 408 stroker in a box ready to rock and roll play that makes 450 horsepower. Yeah, if you have the budget for that and you just want to buy an engine, honestly, like, that wasn't bad. Now, it did seem like the oil pressure was a little low. But, whatever. Jeffrey Both, would your 360 recommendation remain if it's a 63 to 6A body and you don't want to run headers? Absolutely. Yep, done it multiple times. It still works very well. Yes, you're leaving power on the table, not having headers, but it still works. It's fine. And no matter what anyone says to you, you can run the 273 manifold on a 360. All you need is one Remflex header gasket with a small chunk cut out. I've shown that on video a couple times now. Yes, 440 Sources making new blocks. They're very fancy. Is there any place that would sell you a crate engine for Perky? Massey Ferguson 4.192 crate engine. Stop it. Fine. Stop it. God. No, but here's a rebuild kit for $300. Yeah. I will have one of those soon as we verify the crank size. No, I don't believe so. There are full overhaul kits, though. Like sleeves and everything, which is pretty sick. $300. That's less than the head studs cost. Hunter Freeman, A-body long tubes suck to install. Oh, absolutely. You need the headers, but they are terrible. Yes, a 360 and a 63 A-body will need firewall/wiper motor modifications. Yes, we weren't talking about that. I didn't even know what kind of car we were talking about. The question was which small block Mopar. Yeah. Oh. The Jeffrey Voth question was, would your 360 recommendation remain? Yeah, 63 is a special case. But yeah, either way, it doesn't matter. Yes. I had a 360 in my 63 convertible Dart. That was great. We put a 360 Magnum in Mike's Dart. It's pretty great. And both of those are with the manifolds in place. The blue Dart sedan that I technically own but have never brought home. Same deal, 360 stock manifolds. Works really good. Wow. Hot shoe. I went to a Milodon high volume oil pump because I kept unfolding oil filters on the 340. It would run up to 100 pounds of oil pressure with a Melling in it. Dude, the 273 primed at 75 PSI. That seemed really high. No, we're not putting a Cummins in Perky. We've covered this. Old Iron worked on Perkins diesels and ordered Massey parts before it was cool. That's neat. A-body headers fender well all the way. Only in early A. There are none that fit later A. Can we get a peek into the guitar closet? You're peeking right now. None of these are like nice guitars. Epiphone, ruined Fender, eBay special. Okay, there is a Gibson acoustic. And then there's the slide guitar. I fixed it. It sucks. That's my P-Bass special. That's the 4001. That's special, but it's not in the closet. Most of the good ones are actually over here, incidentally, where I can see them, but you cannot. Yes, any V8. Yes. McLovin, why did your heads cost so much to have gone through? Because they needed virtually everything? Yes. And I forgot to take them springs, and I ended up just having them get springs, and I didn't have retainers, so they got retainers. Isuzu diesel. The next person that recommends a different diesel for Perky is getting banned from the chat. I so don't want to hear it. Yeah, they needed everything. Had to put exhaust seats in them. There was a crack that they repaired. They supplied springs, retainers, seals, exhaust seats, exhaust valves. The valves were shot. They had to get new exhaust valves. The keeper grooves, and I knew that, but yeah, Mark back. Yeah, Rooster got it. That's funny. Jeff R. Has anyone offered you a Satin 871 or Crowler staggered RAM injection for your Hemis? No. Scoop just has the one Fender Strat. I just have the one Fender Strat. Well, and then the other ruined Fender Strat, and then, all the other stuff. Yeah, no, I do have a nice collection. You just can't see it. I have a lot of stuff, and if I were making good money on YouTube, I wouldn't tell you, but there would be signs. And that's all I can tell you. That's all I can say. Oh, yeah, JMR. Yes, the Barracuda. The front is the Dart. I forgive you. Had a 70 Dart, 340 and 727 automatic, 391s, ran 1320s with street tires, 1290s with slicks in the late 70s. Nice. Yeah. Very cool. What about a Perkins and Pinky? No! Get out. Don't literally ban the next person that suggests an alternative diesel swap for Perky, but I will be angry. Exactly. Pinky has a Hemi. That's what makes it great, among other things. Carnivore Customs. Trying to fix some dash lights in my 65 Valiant. Notice some of the contact areas peeling where lights connect. Yeah, I saw that on the Dart Sport, actually. You can solder a chunk of wire around the peeled section. On gauges, you can go point to point. You can connect them straight to the gauges. But the lights, of course, they have to contact on the board, so it's a little trickier. Yeah. Neighborhood domination is expensive. That's very true. All classics. How much of an increase do you think could be gained by regrinding a 69 440 Chrysler 300 cam? I mean, you can grind that cam to be whatever you want it to be, so a lot, but you have to make accompanying modifications as well. Andrew Button says, Perky has a lot of potential with that existing motor. Perky has a little potential with that existing motor. Hot Shoe hates diesels. Yeah, so does Tony. Yeah. I really like diesels. Cool. Yeah. Rich Jordan came up with some more great ideas for getting Perky's cylinder head safely removed. He wrote them down, then filed them safely away. Good. Hang on, there are dog noises. I think they're still in the house. No, we're not e-swapping Perky. Ava! 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 Hang on. Ava! Child! My wife went to dinner. I need someone to make sure the dogs are still in the house. Yeah, nice. Scoop. Rad. Frecky the Wolf is here and says, I've been relearning lots. Thanks to you. Nice. Happy to do it. Yes, the Ranger did come with a Perkins diesel in a couple of years, at least in the 80s. Not the same Perkins diesel, but yeah, nice soundproofing job. Yeah. Yes, JMR, exactly. If you would have gone with bigger intake valves on the 273, would it have, and that's a typo, but would it have shrouded the valves? Yes. In fact, you can't even fit the big ones. They physically do not fit. I don't even know if the, is it 192? I can never remember that. Hang on a second. Talk amongst yourselves. Anyway, yeah, if you want to put big valves in the 273, you have to make clearance. It's a pain. I'll be right back. Ava, are the dogs inside? Oh, good. What are you doing? Okay, cool. I just heard a bunch of woofing, that's all. Good news. The inmates not escaped. This has been your drum corner. Quick, everybody make their perky swap suggestions. You grab the Rick, I'll grab the Strat. Looking like one of Tony's lives. Yeah, sounding with the woofing and what have you. Right on the tip of my tongue. Tiffany says, for getting a hold of children, try yelling Minecraft or candy bar. Works for me. Yes, the Ranger Perkins is very, very different than the P series. Vintage Adventure Drive says, and Jamie's a better drummer than I am. Thank you. Hold on a second. I got to show you something. You might not believe it when I tell you if I don't show the accompanying photo. The year was, hold on, I don't know what year it was. Hold on. Oh, well, that's me drumming on the street at South by Southwest. Ooh, that's me with my two-piece band, Evan and the big bass drum. I'm not playing drums. That would be Evan. That's me playing guitar. That's me and my dad. Ooh, this is a drawing of me playing the drums. Fair representation, actually. There we go. There's Jamie at, hold on, the year was 2012. And that is me playing for a band opening for the Cherry Poppin' Daddies. I'm not wearing a shirt. You wouldn't catch me doing that today. Anyway, I've done some drumming in my time, yes. Summit has the Power Master alternator. Yeah, there you go. What in more detail do I do to the wiring? I feel like what I said was pretty detailed. You're going to bypass your amp gauge. So what you're going to do is put the wires on the back of your amp gauge or ammeter or amp meter or alternator gauge, whatever it's called in your cart. You're going to put those wires together. Okay. You're going to eliminate the original alternator charge wire that went from the alternator to the firewall. Just cut it, pull it, whatever. You're not ever going to use that again. Or tie it back in the harness if it makes you feel all warm and fuzzy so you can put it back someday. Either way, hide it in the harness, wrap it all up so it can't short out on stuff. You're not going to need the control wire going to the alternator from the voltage regulator, so you can tie that back into the harness too. You're going to get some heavy-ish gauge wire. I'm going to say 8 gauge, I think. I don't know. You might want to look at an amp wire amp rating chart. But I think 8 gauge, and then you need a big heavy-duty fuse. You do not want to use like a dinky wire-in loose fuse holder. You want a solid bolts-down heavy-duty gauge, heavy-duty fuse holder. Do those words make sense? You need like 120 amp fuse. That's going to be your charging fuse. You're going to take your big heavy wire, it's going to go from the alternator to that fuse holder. And then the other side is going to go from that fuse holder to the big stud on your starter relay. That is where you're going to make your battery connection. You can run it straight to the battery positive, but it's really goofy and kind of dumb. Yes, don't tell Rocket Tom if you cut the wire because he hates people who cut wires. Fuse, or can you use a circuit breaker? You can use a circuit breaker if it makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Old Iron says, you went to South by Southwest? What year? 2009? Wait, hold on. Hang on. Did I go in? Yeah. I went in 2009. Then I almost went in 2010, but I didn't. And that is this whole other. I started to go in 2010, but I didn't. Or is that wrong? Maybe I don't know. And then I went in 2012, the last year. And I think I went in 2011. I think I went 3 times. Yeah. I went 3 times. I think. We were usually just playing on the street. It was pretty great, to be honest with you. I don't want to gloat. I don't even know if I'll be able to find this picture. Yeah, I don't know. It would be so hard to find this picture. Anyway, there's a picture of me and the other guy in the band and Tom Morello somewhere. We opened for his Night Watchman thing. On the street. It was awesome. There are videos of that. Under the dash is where I was lost. Got it. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, you got it. Went but didn't get there. What, were you driving a Ford? Well, first we were driving a General Lee. And then we were driving a retired cop car. And then a bunch of people, not me, got arrested. And I went home. It's quite a story. Nice. Vintage Adventure Drive says, to be fair, I don't practice drums. Me neither. Today is the first time I sat behind the drums at like 1 p.m. or something. First time I've drummed in a while. I'm working on being able to record drums very well in here. But, yeah. What did I just walk into? I don't know. How's it going, Steven? I'm not reading that, Keith. Wow. You were the Duke Boys, then the Blues Brothers, then you went home. Yes. C. Kramer 115, now I have to timestamp your wiring tutorial. Sorry. I did a video on the shunt wire, but that's a little different deal than what we're talking about with the heavy-duty alternator. Sometimes I like to imagine Andrew Button typing out his comments and questions. Woof. Yeah, nice. Hot Shoe, we used to do driveway concerts in our neighborhood to test out new material. We've been meaning to throw a show in the yard here. Never have done that. But if I do, I'll try and remember to stream it or something. I feel like I missed something. Hunter Freeman says, we're doing a TDI in an Eagle wagon. That's awesome. That is very awesome. Excuse me. Okay. We're at the end of the comments. The comments are over. Eagle wagons do look fun. Today's video did not do as well as I expected, but it did well. It did, let's see. It's right below the neon. Yeah. Nice. I put pure insanity in the title of the 74, the Dart Sport, Dylan's Dart Sport, the last video. And a guy commented and said, "Cool build, but it didn't look insane." Read the speedometer when I'm banging some of those corners. That's all I have to say. Tony Stanley. By the way, the Cornet has a 273. Would a 4-barrel and exhaust help any for power? Yeah, for sure. Not a ton, but yeah. 273s respond well to performance upgrades. McLovin asked, how's the new Scrap Pack shirt selling? I think 12 to 15 of them out there now. I don't know. There's a way to find that out. If you somehow missed it, how does I do this? I don't know. Too much work. But anyway, yeah, maybe 10 to 15 of them, I think. Which is fine. But it also, people coming to the shop to look at those and other things. I've had a lot of orders since they went out, even when it wasn't those shirts. So, yeah. Vintage Adventure Drive says, I'm going to watch today's video once we're done here. Still getting back to calming down after racing all weekend. Well, you don't have to rub it in. Chris asked, did you sell any more cars this week? I did not. No. I was too busy working on the Barracuda. Yeah. Gopher Garage says, was looking forward to today's video. Will sound great. It sure will. Yes. Good night, Bell James. Take it easy. Jeff Militich also going to go finish the CUDA video when this ends. Jeff R., can you spell bacon cheeseburgers? No. I'm probably just reheating some pizza tonight. Tony Stanley, I have a 390 Holly. Is that big enough? Yeah, it probably is. Andrew Button, how hard would it be to put a straight axle in my 70 Challenger? All you need is a grinder, a welder, and a dream. Well, and some parts. What is this now? My friend Nick just sent me something. Nick's the one that found me the banana van, or the flying banana. Oh, 74-ish Dodge Grill. Nope, that is 1980. Yeah. You know, there's something wrong with you when you could just see this picture and you instantly know what grill that is, because there's a lot of important details hidden, and it has round headlights, which is weird for that year. Most of them have the stacked. But anyway. Oh, yeah. I just got an NOS grill for my 79. Very excited about that. It's way too nice for the truck. Jack Parker says, Rampage video? I don't know when anything will happen with that. The PT's got to be taken apart, and I do want to do that. But I have other priorities. So, yeah. Really trying to get the Barracuda done. $5 of JP Weld. Wow. Hunter Freeman says, I'll be watching in the morning. Was laying in 107 degree heat under the Comet all day. That sounds horrible. Yeah, PQ Speed Shop. The multiple layered quarter panels, wire routing, and half inches of Bondo was an amazing discovery on the CUDA. I'm not surprised, but yeah. Nice. Vintage Adventure Drive says, I call one of my dirt bikes the Flying Banana. That's sick. Have to dig up a picture to explain and post it to the Discord. Do that. Andrew Button, if you put a dollar bill on Perky's dash, would your passenger be able to grab it when you hit the gas? Oh, God. Yes. So fast. Auto Hobby Services is late. Mom time today. Garbage Can Barracuda vid was great. Lots of progress. Looks killer with the center lines. I know. I'm so excited. Thank you. My Mopar home made it to the live stream just in time for it to end. Hunter Freeman says rear engine wheelie rampage. No. I like where your head's at, but no. Oh, it'll run 8s like the Maserati. Maserati, whatever. Maserati. Maserati is my friend's race car. In reverse. Nice. Yes, Old Iron has watched every non-member DDG upload mostly for research purposes. I apologize to my members. I keep meaning to film the next member video. I know exactly what it's going to be. I just haven't done that. Yeah. You know it's slow if you put $1 on the dash and they end up with $2, says Scoop. Rad. Yeah. I have felt like I'm forgetting something all night tonight, but I don't know what it is, so I guess that makes sense. There's a hair in my eye. Can you get out of here, please? I got something else in my eye working on that mail truck. I don't think I ever got it out. It bugged me for a couple days, and then it just kind of stopped. So, yeah. I'm sure I missed some comments tonight, and I apologize if so. 4.7 was a lawsuit engine. I'm not familiar with that, but they sure do suck. Andrew Button, 59 Plymouth doesn't need subframe connectors because it has a frame. Oh, Travis Larson is in Vegas, but chose to catch the DDG show. Thank you. Much appreciated. That was an hour ago, so, you know, I can only imagine you're not hanging out here anymore. But thanks. Incense, peppermints. Jeff Hutchins, save your Minty 79 grill and delete it for the Simon & Simon clone. Yeah. Oh, Stephen Andrews says, check your Scrap Pack shirts again. Fine, I'll refresh the page. Oh, come on. Oh, whoa. What did you do? Wow. You know, okay. I guess Stephen Andrews is buying stock. You gonna resell those? That's your artwork, man. Wow. Stephen Andrews just placed the largest merch order I've ever seen by more than double. Stephen Andrews, of course, did design both Scrap Pack logos, and we thank him for it. That's impressive. That's going to be a big box. I've never even ordered that many shirts. Hunter Freeman says, swap the Neon engine to a rear-wheel drive vehicle. I'd like to have an additional Neon engine to do that with. Polaris 61 dropped in from Sweden. How's it going? Excuse me. Oh, yeah, Old Iron. No, that's that one too, but yeah. Excuse me again. Rooster is hungry. Hunter Freeman, is there a rear-wheel drive trans that would fit the Neon? They had power and reliable, could be a good swap. Well, if you mean the Neon engine, yes. There would be other complications to rear-wheel drive a Neon, and I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but I won't be doing that. It's just too much damn work. So now you can afford to buy the house next door? No, we'll have to sell a whole lot more. Not real estate money, God no. No. Twin engine neon, I like the idea, but you know, twin engine stuff's twin Polo's already been done. Nice. Old Iron says, Jamie, you have my word. The second I hit 69,000 subscribers, I will buy a membership. Good enough for me, pal. Good enough for me. Home Depot won't have Christmas decorations up tomorrow, but they do already have the giant skeletons. Jeff Hutchins says, you know your car is slow when the passenger gets out and then gets back in the back seat while you're accelerating. That would be perky. You could run faster. Not the red neon. What do you mean? There's no red neon. Oh, yeah. Okay. He retracted that. All right. Well, it is about that time. I actually started learning a song that I want to play, but I didn't. Good sense, innocence, crippling mankind. Dead kings, many things I can't define. Nah, I can't actually play that. Too psychedelic. Use Neon Engine for a Valiant swap. Dude, that would fix everything wrong with the turbo slant car. That would be sick. Old Iron's Dakota, which is, in fact, the greatest vehicle ever, is even better because it has a limited slip. Nice. Do you want to build a race car? I don't hate Dakotas. They're just not for me. I know they're good trucks. I've explained myself on that one. I don't hate them. I understand the appeal. I know why people like them. They are basically muscle cars. I mean, it's the same idea. Lightweight, small-ish, medium-ish. You can put big power in it that it doesn't deserve, shouldn't have. Burnouts all day. Yeah. I get it. But, yeah, Alan doesn't like them. As funny as I keep defending Dakotas to Alan because he hates them. Don't put a 4BT in a Dakota. First off, that's the waste of a good 4BT. And second off, it'll be slow and vibrating and miserable. Dakota, the K car of trucks. Yeah. I could see that, I guess. Yeah. I ain't doing that. Okay, was that enough of a song? Elizabeth didn't like it very vocally. Didn't Alan buy the Dakota RT? Yes, and it is now back in my yard because he sold it. Not to me, to a friend. Chris is calling it a night. I am calling it a night. I could eat. Yeah, I guess we're good. Acid Spit Stormchild said, great update on the Barracuda. Can't wait to hear it. You and me both, pal. Really looking forward to it. Okay, yeah, have a great week, everybody. Wednesday might be a 440 teardown. Might be a Slant 6 video. I still don't know how I'm going to arrange that for video, but I'll figure it out eventually. Probably another Barracuda video next week, although diminishing returns being what they are, you know, they're going to get fewer and fewer views. But I'm having fun, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day. There's something else imminently. What is that? What am I thinking of? What am I doing with my life? Where am I? This is not my beautiful home. This is not my beautiful wife. I don't know. We'll do something. We'll have videos. That's for sure. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll see you in the comments section and next Sunday. Well, put a corn dog in the window. Though I should have gone too. Oh, that's wrong. I'll be gone, but I'll be clocking in soon. As long as I can steal a bite. As long as I can steal a bite. All right, bye. Over it. Okay, see you later. Bye.